right, I'd like to call to order the Ratcliffe City Council meeting for Tuesday, July 16th at 6:30 at Ratcliffe City Hall. If everyone will please rise as Councilman Palmer gives our invocation and remain standing for our flag, our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we're so grateful again to be in your presence, grateful to be in this wonderful day that you made. We ask now your blessings upon our time together, that you would lead and guide us, give us insight, give us wisdom, so that we might conduct the the business of this city. We ask now you to bless and protect all of those who are serving in our armed forces in harm's way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I could hear one of y'all really good over there.
I did.
There was no question about that.
Well, Judge, I heard on the kids. Did you say something? But I heard on the
Mr. Clerk, sir, would you please call roll?
Barbara Baker,
Present.
Pam DeRoche,
Here.
Edward Palmer,
Present.
Tanya Seabrooks,
Here.
Kim Thompson,
Present.
Chris Yates.
Here.
Full staff.
Can we have consideration for minutes of June 24, 2019, special called meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, any
Who would like that?
Doesn't matter.
Barbara, I guess she was sick. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, can we have consideration of minutes for July 8, 2019 work session?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, well, how's everyone doing? Okay. Hey, Murph, how you doing? So tonight, yesterday, Councilwoman Seabrooks had called and said there were some young people that may be making a trip to North Carolina. Is that right? Is that what we heard? So I told her, please ask them to come. So thank you, Councilwoman, for asking that. And I know we have Brandon Butler here. Thank you, sir. I know we're going to let you all to speak and tell us about this group. And Sonny, thank you so much for being here. And tell us about these lovely children you brought before the council tonight.
We'll let Coach Sonny talk. Start it off.
So Sonny, if you'll come up and maybe just stand somewhere right in here, but kind of speak loud so somebody's mic will pick you up. Yeah, go ahead.
That one I pick you up.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, Mayor and council members, we are delighted to be here as always, and it's an honor and a privilege. You know, we're really appreciative of what you all have to do for the city and also for Hardin County. Not only does it impact the city, but also throughout this county and of course the state. And we're also excited because Beast Mode Hardin County Kentucky Track Club, who we are, get to represent our city and our county, but even more so our state. And that is a great honor and a great privilege. And these students behind me and these parents are the ones that make that possible. And so we really appreciate
Well,
that.
Sonny, will you tell us what Beast Mode is? Tell us.
Yes, Beast Mode, Hardin County Kentucky Track Club originated in 2016. Its founder was Mr. Brandon Butler. He had coordinated with a person out of Houston, Texas, Mr. Jesse Sanders. And so we had met them down in Birmingham, Alabama in an indoor track meet. And he saw these flashy colors, and he goes like, wow, they're everywhere. So he sought out that gentleman, and that was our inception. That's how we got started. And so from there we began. He had 4 kids or 3?
First year.
Yeah, now the kids that was Noel and Christian were competing, or just Noel? Birmingham.
Noel.
So we had one son that was competing. That's how we got there, and also got back on the track, start running again as master. And so from that, we grew, came back, we got about 6 children, 9 children. Out of that first year, 9 children, 6 of them, correct? 6 of them went to the Junior Olympics the very first year. We didn't know what we were doing, basically, but they had a heart, they had talent, and it was just amazing. That trip was to California. So the city was very gracious to us in allowing us to stand on the corners and shake the buckets and stand at the storefronts and do bake sales. So that was awesome. That was our support from the city, which was great. Also, I can't remember what year that who was there then, but the city also supported us financially from him. In addition to that, the next year we had, was it 12, Coach?
We had 12.
We have 12 to go to the Junior Olympics the following year. Ypsilanti, Michigan. Nora Allen, please stand up. This young lady was the, thank you. That young lady represented all of us tremendously well by winning the Junior Olympics, AAU, at Ypsilanti, Michigan, in the 100-meter and the 200-meter dash, 9 and 10-year-old girls.
Ooh,
She
awesome.
put us on the map like you wouldn't believe. It's an amazing story. All of our athletes performed well. We had so many of our athletes who were in the top 50 in the nation. And so I have to go back to Hamlin history because, Gray Maddox catching up. And then the following year, that was Ypsilanti, Michigan. 2017, we went from 12 to the Junior Olympics to 20 young people from here went to the Junior Olympics last year, with Councilman Palmer's grandson being one of those who finished 6th in the nation out of the top 8.
Wow.
Fantastic in the long jump. So we're
For my grandson.
He must have got that from his grandmother, I'm taking it.
Be honest, he got that from me chasing him around with that belt. Do what you can to help these kids, man.
So with that, we had 20 individual young people who there, and parents, of course. It's a long, grueling week. Preliminaries, they run 2 or 3 times. They have to be really conditioned. And on that note, I'd like to thank the city, North Hardin High School, for allowing us to use the facility there. They have always been very cooperative in allowing us to train. Of course, the dip here brings about another time we have to transition elsewhere. But that's been a great help for us, and without any additional cost for our program. Then this year, we qualified 21 athletes to go to the Junior Olympics in a couple of weeks to Greensboro, North Carolina.
It's a little
Ladies and
closer.
gentlemen, that is just humongous, and we're increasing each year. And I must say it's due to the parents, to the supportive community, to the coaching staff, but most of all to these young student athletes who not only perform well on the track, but also in the classroom. I dare say if we ask some of the parents, your parents, grandparents, that they do pretty well at home as well, in conduct and behavior, I'm sure. We hope that will continue, and I look forward to being a senior citizen that someday these young people come in and say, "Oh, I remember him. You take good care of me." Also, so with that, those 21, we took 36. Is that correct, Coach? 36.
We took 35.
We took 35 to the regional, and 21 of them qualified.
Oh, amazing.
That is
Amazing.
So we really do appreciate the support of the community. We do appreciate parents especially, and these children who attend all of our schools. And as I said, they represent us also academically. We've had some outstanding academic achievements through these young people as well. And you can check with any of the schools and you would find that out. And the amazing thing about it, we have no seniors on our track program, is that correct? No seniors. Do we have any juniors? No juniors. No juniors. Sophomores and down.
There you go.
Oh, maybe I changed that slightly. We do have some masters and seniors on the track program, so you're welcome to join us.
What's your youngest? How old is the youngest?
7.
7. Wow.
Sonny, can you have them each stand up real quick and just say their name, and if you don't mind?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, please.
Please vote up. Starting on the insert.
However you want to, Sonny. It's all you.
Loud and proud.
My name is Kalijah Sarrier. My name is Jovial Carter.
My name is Morgan Bryant.
My name is Anaya West.
My name is Demonte Whitfield.
My name is Brian McNeil.
Wrong.
My name is Ronald Morris.
My name is Casey Bollinger.
My name is Noel Butler.
My name is Colin King.
My name is Janiah McNeil. My name is Jada McNeil.
My name is Caitlin. My name is Elijah Pedro.
My name is Nora Allen.
My name is Kennedy Alfred.
Awesome.
Good. Now we know what names to listen for when we're reading the paper under the sports, under track.
And if you don't don't mind, I gave our young athletes a little bit of homework. And I don't want to think that that homework is in vain. So what I'm gonna do is ask 1, 2, 3 on 3 rows. One person within the row, raise your hand. Those that want to give your input as far as, you just mention who your name is, what your favorite subject, what you enjoy about track, things of that nature. So everybody don't rush at once. Who we got? First row. First row. First row. Go on.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell them.
My
Go ahead,
favorite,
Stand up.
my favorite subject in school is math.
Yay.
That's good. I like to learn multiplication and division.
Good for you.
My favorite,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a doctor when I grow up because I like to help people. I like to help people that is hurt or sick.
Oh.
If this one clowns up, that's his mom.
Like that's his daddy.
Not your son.
My favorite subject in school is social studies.
Good. Good deal.
Right? Tell us more.
Oh,
What are some of the accomplishments that you did this year?
oh, I got band and club, and AP honor roll.
Good.
I want to be a professional football player.
Oh.
For the Dallas Cowboys, if I might ask. Go ahead, Daryl. Everybody pointing. Come on. This is my older group, so they should be out there now. Come on.
I ain't doing it. I ain't doing
Come on, Kenji.
it.
Go ahead. Come on.
You can do it.
You can totally do it.
Come on, Dia Monte, come on.
There you go. Bail him out. Bail him out.
Come on, Dia Monte.
I improved my grades. Like, I used to have like 1 F, I bring it up to an A.
Yeah.
And I want to be a professional football player. If I don't get to be there, I'm going to be a doctor.
Okay, there you go.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
councilmen and women, do you all have any other questions for our group? They work very hard this year. Throughout the last 4 seasons, it's definitely a great accomplishment and great honor to be able to head coach and coach with these, Coach Sonny, who I call him my Kentucky Pops, and Coach Blunt, who's also military, and Coach Bollinger, who's also military, and all certain active duties just like I am.
Yep,
And so
awesome.
I would not be able to do this without their support, and of course, my lovely wife. These athletes, they start in, this year, he started in April, okay? Usually we start right after spring break, and we started 2-3 days a week. And of course, everybody knows Coach Butler, we increased, and we're right around 4 days a week now. But they started, and they went to elementary state meets, they went to middle school state championships, they traveled from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, to Tennessee twice already, stayed in hotels and endured a lot of heat, rain, sleet, snow, and all that good stuff. And here they are now, the top 21 in the region, and our region consists of Tennessee, Alabama, and Kentucky.
Wow.
And so now they're about to go compete against the best athletes within the nation. The athletes you're looking at right now are considered the top 6 in their event, in their age group, which is a very high accolade, but at the same time, they understand that hard work and dedication pays off. It beats talent any kind of day, but at the same time, you have to have character and discipline, and everything that you do in the classroom is going to take you a long ways. And so, our young athletes, we started around 60, and we ended it around, right now we're at 21, and we have 18, 19 going
Good.
to the Junior Olympics. So definitely be looking out for these young kids.
Definitely.
And if you see some in neon, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you definitely give us a call. But there's some great young men and women, and we look forward to the future with them.
Awesome.
Damn.
Guys,
we are still hoping and designing that sometime in the future we may be sponsored by someone. We have been at the national level every year, and that is our hope for this program to continue to flourish. And secondly, I would like to have them to say this little motto for you.
Sure.
All right, together, be small. The word team, T-E-A-M, T stands for?
Together.
E.
Each.
A.
Athlete.
M.
Matters.
5 claps. Thank you very much.
Sonny, how can folks give? Because I understand you guys are going to North Carolina, you said?
North Carolina.
Yeah. So I'm sure that you guys have financial needs as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So how can folks give? We are streaming live to Facebook.
Well, you can go on to hck.beastbonetrack.com. That's our website. And if you go onto there, you will see the pull down link that says donations and sponsors. Once you click on that link, it goes to PayPal, and of course you can donate from there. And once that happens, the email will come to our team account, and we would write a letter back. Of course, we are a 501c3 organization, so the tax ID number goes back as far as anybody wants to claim that at the end of the year. So that's the main HCK, which stands for Hardin County, Kentucky, .beastbonetrack.com.
Good.
That's the avenue.
And do you guys have any regional events that you're hosting here?
As of right now, we do not.
Good. Last thing, check with tourism about possible sponsorship. May require advertisement on your uniforms,
Yes, sir.
but it's a tourist thing to draw attention to Radcliffe at these national and regional meetings. I think is important, and so we appreciate you guys bringing something good out of our community. And then I just noticed Ben Sharon from the News Enterprise, who's always looking for great stories, great opportunity to shine light on what young people are doing. So
Especially
make sure you guys
in
connect with
Yes.
him, and he can do you a great deal of justice by doing the right article, the right spot, with the right tagline, so folks can give.
Yes.
There you go.
You know that corner page thing.
Sonny, we took up a quick collection for you up here, so if you'll come get this, I don't want to say how much, but if you'll take this from us, please. And then, as a bribe, I'd like to get the coaches and I wouldn't call them little folks, the young folks, for a picture with all of us, if that's all right. Yeah, please, Thank you. So,
Put your banner up to the front.
yes.
Put your banner up for the
So,
picture.
yeah, you're welcome. That's from all of us.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
One
you.
and all. 5 claps.
So, you think it'd be easier for them to come up here, or us go up there and have them stand in front of us? I don't know.
Them stand in front of us. Yeah, we go there.
Yeah, have them line up here.
Line up
Or
here.
behind us?
Behind you.
Just-
Oh, that would be neat.
Yeah,
Okay,
y'all come
behind us.
behind us. Just y'all separate, come behind us. Coaches, y'all come up. Oh, you all right? We're just gonna stay. Hey, Tim, let me take it.
Right in front, and you guys can kneel down.
Just scoot up in front of the banner.
There you go. All right.
Let go of the banner. Let go
You
of
let
the
go of the
banner.
banner.
There you
You're
go.
good. All right, you're good.
There you go.
All right, we're good now. All right, we're looking at the guy in the black shirt.
Oh, okay.
All right. Got it? Everybody got it? Parents, everybody good?
Ben, you got us? Ben, you got us?
Yeah, he got
You
it.
got us? Okay,
He's got
good.
it.
Yes,
All
good.
right, guys.
Picture for that article is already.
Look at us. Look it. And send it to us. We can tag it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, man. Hey, thanks, man. Make sure you see me for a donation.
See you guys on the 11th.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Coach?
I'm on anytime. Anytime. Y'all have a good one.
Take it in with your singing. So if you touch that, call me. You're not way out.
We'll wait till that calms down there.
Thank you, Chris. Yep.
Oh, Ed, I got that.
Oh,
Remember
the
you
mic.
asked about that? It's highlighted on the second.
Mayor and council, thank you so very much.
You're welcome,
We are so appreciative.
Gotcha.
We appreciate you.
And these people are good.
All right, Sonny. Thank you.
See you. Good luck, guys.
Good luck.
And girls.
Well, I see it highlighted, that's what you asked.
Oh, that book.
Oh, hey, Coach.
Coach, book. Oh, I get to keep the book?
No, it's on.
Oh, okay.
What I- what I
We can
do-
keep it here?
What I also do is I
You gonna
send
let them know?
CD.
I think
Okay.
That way, all those
I
notes
talked
you
to
can see
him,
everything.
Oh, good.
That's the homemade version. That's just so you all see a compliment I did.
Oh,
Okay.
good, good deal.
And when you all look at those PowerPoint, that information went to Hardin County Schools and all superintendents, even like athletes at Louisville, for them to be able to recognize their kids nationally. Instead of doing the same thing this year.
Hey, one last point, that you guys do sell the Beast Mode attire, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just so folks know, they're pretty cool shirts to wear, so if anybody wants to get one.
So we actually have an account through Juros right there, and has our Beast Mode attire. To be able to support home and so,
Oh, good deal.
would you like me to send it to them?
Yeah.
You send it, Jeff?
James, what?
Yeah, send it, Jeff. Jeff will look it up.
I mean, we appointed. Jot it down for me. I just have time in the morning.
This is
They're all appointed.
accounts.
Some are real.
Have used.
This thing's there. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, this is the book for that. You got
Huh?
two books?
Not yet, no, he's wanting to, we didn't sign him up, we'll wait one more. All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Next, we'll move into citizen comments, so come on up, Ms. Yonkers. You probably know the routine, right?
Well, I know I get to come up here and say something.
Just your name,
Okay,
address,
all right.
and then you can start.
All
Yeah.
right, my name is Mary Yonker, and my address is 422 South Logston Parkway. And what I have here is a copy, I actually cut it out of the News Enterprise. It's a letter that I wrote to the News Enterprise in hopes that the people on the city council would read it. And I found out some of you didn't. So I'd like to read it to you. It says here, holiday is not just about making noise. What the 4th of July means to me. It is a day to remember the brave men who had the courage to fight for freedom from the tyranny of Great Britain. They fought against the superior weapons of the British so they could be free. Some of them gave their lives in their pursuit of liberty. In my opinion, some Americans do not reflect on the sacrifices of our forefathers at all. In my opinion, based on what I see and hear, a minority of the people, according to a poll reported in the News Enterprise, they just want to see how high and how loud they can get with their fireworks. Probably a lot of these, well, I probably shouldn't say this, but I think a lot of these people might be on welfare because they don't have to go to work the next day. You might ask, why do I care? Well, when it's next door to me, I care a lot because I cannot sleep. Now, this isn't in the News Enterprise, but I had on earplugs, I had on a noisemaker, I had the pillow over my head, and I still could not go to sleep. If it ended at 10:30 or even 11, that would be reasonable. But some people cannot tolerate loud noises, and I'm one of them. So, and also animals are so frightened that a lot of them run away, get lost, and then that's another, I'm making up some of this that I didn't say. I mean, I'm not making it up, but I didn't say all of this. But that's another burden on the taxpayers. both Radcliffe and E-Town provide community fireworks. Why isn't that enough for people that enjoy that kind of thing? And, hey, if they want to have their fireworks, if they want to just light up $50 bills, that's their problem. But I think there should be a time limit. I mean, it gets dark before 9. Why can't it be 10:30 or 11 for those of us that are morning people? And my whole day on the 5th is ruined. I'm sorry, but I'm mad. I'm mad. I was mad last year and I didn't do anything about it. And I'm even madder this year.
But this time you're doing something about it.
Yeah, this time I'm doing something about it. Well, I might not work, but
But you're
I'm
doing-
hoping that you all, and if you don't agree with me, hey, maybe we can bring them over to your house.
They were there.
They were there. Okay.
Nearby.
Ms. Yonkers, I will tell you, you know the ordinance that's currently set goes till midnight. The
I
cutoff
know
is-
that, otherwise I would have been calling the police.
Okay, I just didn't know if you.
Oh, yeah, I knew
information.
that,
I got
believe
you.
me, I knew that, and I know it's the weekend before and the 4th and the weekend after, and I always pray for rain. I really do, I'm sorry, but I pray it pours down. But anyway, I'm so mad I can't hardly, I'm shaking. I
Now-
really am.
Now, I will tell you one thing, just a suggestion, Mr. Pike may help me with this. But maybe 2011, 2012 is when the restriction on what was illegal in Kentucky. You used to have to go to Indiana or Tennessee to get fireworks, the illegal ones. But now when they opened that up, that made those fireworks a lot louder than what they used to be prior to that. I don't know what year that happened. But that's why, years ago, you could only do the little ones that went about 5 feet and you hear the whistling. But when Kentucky unrestricted that and made that, so that may be something you approach your legislators at the state level
Oh.
about, because those are where the larger ones sound
Oh,
from.
the larger ones were right next door to
Yeah,
me.
and that's not a localized issue that we can handle because the state allows that.
Actually, I think you could.
I don't-
That's my opinion. You might disagree with me, but we make all kinds of rules. And apparently, WHAS doesn't know about that,
Mhm.
because on the.
I saw that.
You saw that? Mhm.
Yeah, he was totally wrong.
He was wrong? Well, they announced on WHAS that the people from Kentucky had to go to Indiana to
Right.
get their
Which you
big
don't
fire-
have to do anymore, as Mayor said.
Yeah, you can-
Yeah, well.
Now, they may be the bigger ones I don't know about, but I
These
know.
were big enough that I was worried they were gonna come over. If it'd been dry, it wasn't dry, because I did get some rain, on my house. They were way up there. They were probably as big as yours. I didn't want yours, but.
But
in
you
the
heard
back.
it. Did you hear it?
Pardon?
Did you hear it?
It didn't bother me.
Thank you.
Because, it ended. I don't care what you do before 10 or 10:30.
Yeah, we were done by 10:20.
Yeah, so I don't care. But, anyway,
All right.
I've
Ms.
had my
Yonkers.
piece.
Well, thank
my
you.
say.
Thank you,
I
Ms.
haven't had my piece, but I've had a say.
Well, thank you.
Anyway,
Thank you for coming.
well, you'll probably see more of them.
That's all right. Anytime. You know that. Don't forget your purse.
Oh,
She
believe
won't.
me, I won't forget it.
You
By
can
the
leave it,
way-
I'll bring it to you later.
By the way, did the person, I don't know if they're in charge of mowing the Logston
Median.
median, did anyone come to see you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they said they were going to.
I haven't
'Cause
heard.
Because they pulled over my tree.
In the median?
Yeah. I believe in taking care of the property. I mean, it's not my property, it's y'all's property, but
Oh, I know. Y'all keep it up. I know where, yeah.
But we mow it, and we weed eat it, and they come along and weeded it to the ground. I had to get out there, I'm almost 80, and try to plant grass.
Wow.
Because they had weeded it to the ground, and they pulled over my tree. Of course, they apologized, but they said they were gonna see you and get me a
How-
new tree.
I don't know how long ago that's, do you know when it was?
Couple of months, this spring,
Oh,
Okay.
this year.
I'll find out. I
Yeah,
haven't
I
heard.
don't, and I don't even really care about that.
Yeah.
Because, the suckers came up, and now it's a bush.
Gotcha. Well, we'll
But-
check. I'll check and see, but I haven't heard.
But I said, well, if you do, that's fine. They said they would plan it too, which that was a big thing there. You plan it, yeah. But
All right.
they said they would, and it really doesn't matter. I just thought I'd let you know that, about it.
All right, thank you, Ms.
Thank
Young.
you.
Anybody else? All right, we're gonna move on. All right, folks, we have on old business, this was our work session meeting that we had discussed the commitment matching fund letter for the North Loxton Parkway project. I did get some of the information. That request was submitted and to FEMA as we discussed. And then Councilman Palmer had asked in regards to the regulations on acquisition of property, which I have the email from the mitigation program grant, Esther White, that was here and spoke, and I did share that with Councilman Palmer and a couple of the other council members, and basically, the sub-applicant will not be able to use eminent domain authority to acquire their property for projects of this purpose. And so I just want to be clear, and that's what you all had asked, so if there's any other questions in regards to that, I have a copy if you all need one.
So we have that officially in print.
It's the regulation, yes, and Mr. Pike did look at it.
Straight from FEMA.
Yep. So with that being said, Mr. Pike, do we need to have a reading on that, or just a
No,
vote?
sir. No, just an approval, I believe.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an approval to.
Commit the funds.
The dollar commitment of $320,945. And this is for the construction of North Loxton mitigation project. And this is just saying that if the grant does move forward, that we will match those grants, and it's giving me the authorization to sign that agreement.
You need a motion to do that?
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the grant for $320,945 for the North Loxton flood mitigation project.
Second.
Motion second. Do we have any discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Chris Yates,
Yes.
Kim Thompson.
Yes.
Barbara Baker,
Yes.
Pam DeRoche,
Yes.
Edward Palmer,
Yes.
Tanya Seabrooks.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, next in new business, on the appointment of the city clerk, after about, let's see, am I thinking right, October of '89? September of '89. Almost nearly 30 years of service. Mr. England will be retiring, I guess, or that means more work. I don't know what that means.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I heard, so, with that, Mr. England is a very modest person and doesn't really want a whole hoopla of things being done for him, but we want to thank him for his nearly 30 years of service, and I don't believe there's anybody in the city that knows the tax roll the way that Mr. England does. You can call
I
him.
guarantee you they
I
don't.
can give you an address and he'll tell me who, what, when, and where, so greatly gonna be missed. And as far as the clerk position, you've served now, how long?
2 years.
2 years, so he's, I think he's had he's starting, his hairline's going back farther and farther every time I look at him, so.
It's called Chrome,
No,
not gray.
Chrome. So we want to thank him for his service. So I just want to be clear on that appointment of the new city clerk. He's retiring, and yeah, we have to appoint one because next month of July 31st, he will be leaving. We got to have a clerk. So with that, I've made a motion to, a recommendation to you guys for Ashley Russo to take that position back over. And she would start August 1st when Mr. England retires.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Do we have any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Edward Palmer.
Yes.
Barbara Baker,
Yes.
Pam DeRoche.
Yes.
Tanya Seabrooks.
Yes.
Kim Thompson.
Yes.
Chris Yates.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. And then next on boards and commissions, I just asked Mr. Pike, and I apologize to the council, maybe not clarifying this with you earlier. Do y'all want to do each individual one and do a vote on each individual one, or do you want
Sure.
to group them
Makes
No, we
it
can do them all together.
We can do them all
Yeah, just
together.
do 'em all
all together?
all together?
Nothing's new, so let's just do it all together.
Well, there is one.
Well, there is one new
And
one.
we can separate
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, except
Does it
for-
matter, Mr. Pike,
No.
how we do that?
No.
It's whatever the council wants to do. They can separate the
I'm fine with
the
all
new
of them, so-
appointment if they like, or they can do it as a lump, or they can do them individually.
I recommend we do them all together.
Me too.
I do
So
too.
we have that, just need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion?
Why don't we go ahead and read
I was
who
gonna say, we
we're
gotta at least
appointing?
read them.
You want me to give you
Sure, I
that?
can do that. So ladies and gentlemen, the appointments are Charlene Easter to the Radcliffe Planning Commission for term expiring June 30, 2023. The appointment is effective July 1 of 19. The next one is appointing Ron Vasquez to the Radcliffe Planning Commission, the term expiring June 30, 2023. Appointment effective July 1. Reappointing Vince Carmen to the Forestry and Conservation Board for term expiring June 30, 2022. Appointment effective July 1. Reappointing Bob Decker to the Forestry and Conservation Board, term expiring June 30, 2022. Appointment effective July 1. Appointing Sherry Barnes to the Radcliffe Planning Commission, term expiring June 30, 2023. Appointment effective July 1. Reappointing Victoria Sanderson Thompson to the Board of Adjustments with term expiring June 30, 2022. Appointment effective July 1. And finally, reappointing Gloria Fight to the Board of Adjustments, term expiring June 30, 2023. Appointment effective July 1. And those are the appointments.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would just like to go on record again. I understand that people do not like to necessarily step up to volunteer, but it would be nice for citizens all over to consider in Radcliffe to apply for some of these boards, so we don't have to keep reappointing, because it is nice to have fresh blood. Just have a succession plan. Radcliffe is a moving city. We should be growing as well. So that's all I have, but we'll go with this. That's all I
Anybody
have.
else? All right, hearing none, Mr. Clerk.
Chris Yates,
Yes.
Edward Palmer,
Yes.
Barbara Baker,
Yes.
Pam DeRoche,
Yes.
Tanya Seabrooks,
Yes.
Kim Thompson.
Yes.
All appointments and reappointments are accepted.
So with that, we'll move into our mayor council comments. I think we start Barbara. I think Chris wants. You found the sheep? Owner of the sheep?
Found the owner of the sheep. Sheep's at home safe.
There, you better explain, there was a
There was a
sheep
lost sheep
wandering
today
through
that
the
wandering
city.
So
around.
JJ calls me today while he's over at my house working on some electric and says,
It was a sheep. It was a
there's
real
a sheep wanting in your backyard. And I'm saying, yeah, right.
There was a sheep.
There was a sheep
I said, where they from?
wanting in the backyard. So we found the owner. But anyways, I want to thank Jeff for his service. I know you don't want to make a big deal out of it, but it is a big deal to
Thank you is fine.
to have someone. We're losing a great deal of knowledge, as you know, as they said, 29 years of service. I think you probably served through 5 mayors.
Hutcherson hired me.
Yeah, so
Joe Hutchers.
enjoy your retirement and
Plan on it, thank you.
stay out of trouble.
You know what I'm gonna be doing.
I know exactly what you're going to be doing.
Kim, you got anything, sir?
I'd like to thank Jeff for his service here too, and it was a pleasure working with you, so thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna save the mush for later. I'm gonna miss you.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, but I do have 2 things. So I stand corrected from last week. The Radcliffe Women's Club, the Christmas in July, is actually this Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Coleman Community Center. The entire community is invited to come out, bring some friends. It's always a wonderful celebration, and Radcliffe Women's Club always cooks the best food. So please make sure you come out and celebrate one of our great organizations that we have here. Also, July 30th, anybody's still interested in signing up for the Radcliffe Cultural Festival, we are elated to have this happening in our city, and we want to support as best as we can, but we need your help. So please make sure you reach out to, if you can follow them on Facebook, or you can reach out to Toshi Singleton Merle regarding any information that you may need. But the next meeting is July 30th, and it'll be taking place at Tuscany. And I think, Pam, you can probably speak to the time.
It's gonna be at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yes, definitely. But other than that, I'll save the mush for Jeff, but he's been amazing to work with, so yes.
Jeff's been great working with you, man. You're the only person in the entire city that refers to me as Edward. Please don't pass that on to anybody else.
You probably won't see me anymore after 31st anyway.
If I do see you, it's okay that you call me Edward. Don't pass that on to anybody else, okay?
I got you.
Appreciate you, man, and
Thank
enjoy retirement, whatever that looks like for you.
Thank
Do what you love doing and do it as long as you can.
Thank you very much.
I wanna ditto on those comments, thank you so much. And he's always been a bright, shining face whenever I would come in and pay my taxes in person, so thank you for your 30, almost 30 years of service. I'm going to comment on Tanya's comments about Radcliffe Cultural Festival. The festival is going to be Saturday, September the 14th. We are in need of, we are a very diverse community here in Radcliffe, so we're trying to celebrate our differences. We are looking for groups that would like to come out and to showcase your country, your ethnicity, whatever it is that you do different than we would like to celebrate that. So we've got a population from Guam that's going, just as an example, from Guam that's going to be showcasing their food, some of their arts, their crafts, their dance, their music. That's just one group. I've talked to someone from Ireland, or talking to Irish customs, German, any country that, as long as we can get a population there to celebrate. So we're looking for different groups. We've got several, but we need to add and expand upon what we have. So if you have not been contacted, please feel free to reach out, like she said, to Toshi Merle or even myself. We would love for this to be a huge event. We want everybody to come out and help us celebrate on that day anyway, but we really need the different cultures to step up and let us know that you want to participate. Is that all? That's it for me? Are you ready for me?
Ms. Baker, please.
I would like to say, here it is, summer's kind of beginning of summer. Please, while you're out of school, take advantage of our pool. It's open daily unless we're having storms. $3.25 to get in. That's for all day, as long as you want to stay. It's the best deal you'll find anywhere. We also have Sonder Springs, which is great. If it's too hot, go take a walk in the woods. And don't forget our other parks and ball fields. So if everybody goes out and enjoys what we have to offer here in the city, that would be great. And also, Jeff, thank you very much for all of your years of dedication. And you have worked through that whole bottom row of mayors.
Absolutely.
And that says a lot to be able to do that in all those different administrations. So you're very bendable to work through those.
I'm thinking flexible.
Yeah,
Flexible?
I'll bring what I use.
But I do want to thank you for everything, and you have always, anytime somebody has asked anything, as Mayor said, you know it. You don't even have to look most things up, so that's a wealth of knowledge that we'll be losing. Hopefully you keep your cell phone on for us.
Oh, It'll be on.
Okay. Okay.
Just for you,
Sure, it'll be on vibrate only.
Mr. Pike, sir. You were done, Barbara? I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I'm
to-
done.
Yeah.
I normally don't say much, which is a good thing, but I have known Jeff England for many years. When I first became city attorney, Jeff was obviously the tax clerk, and got to know Jeff at that time, and he was a pleasure to work with at that point. And he was appointed city clerk during a time that was often tumultuous, where the mayor and the council at times were at odds and didn't see things eye to eye. He came in rough waters. But I think Jeff has done a stellar job as the clerk. He's been a pleasure to deal with, and the city attorney and the city clerk always have a good relationship in an ideal situation. And I have been able to work with excellent city clerks here at the city of Radcliffe. Barbara Wilkins was the first one that I worked with, and Barbara was a pleasure to work with. Same thing with Ashley Rousseau. And Jeff, for the short time that you've been clerk, it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much.
He's been professional, he's been thorough, he's worked hard, he's had the city's best interest at heart at anything that I've dealt with him, and I'm gonna be sorry to see him go. I totally agree with Barbara. The institutional knowledge that's walking out that door is tremendous. You can replace people in positions, but you can't replace what's up here, and you can't replace what's here.
Hold on,
Oh, wait a
wait,
minute.
stop.
Oh, yeah, please wait.
Yeah, please wait, Mike.
I'm on a roll, we better wait.
I don't want to miss any of this. This is good.
Let's get warmed up.
Good stuff.
Well, it might be in a minute.
But, so I'm looking forward to working with Ashley again and delighted to do that. But at the same time, I am sorry to see you go. We refer to each other as brother man in emails. I don't know why we do that, but
Keep it casual.
we keep it casual, light, but we have a lot of laughs when we get work done, and it's been a real pleasure. And he makes my job as city attorney a lot easier, and thank God for that. And all the clerks here have done that through the years. So I want to take a few minutes and say that we don't often say things that we should through the course of life. How we should appreciate each other and just reach out and say things like that. And I wanted to say this in front of a room full of people and everybody watching at home. But God bless you, and hope you have an amazing retirement, you and Kathy. And of course, I know you beat her to it.
Yeah.
But be happy to see you around town, and hopefully we will. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
You're gonna take a copy of that tape home, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be in a minute.
Before we close out, I got a couple things, but I know what you're gonna say, but I can't say it. Don't yell out too much. You're probably gonna say he calls you every time about the meetings.
No, I want to comment on Tanya's, what she had said.
Oh, I can't.
As of yesterday, there are still tickets
Oh.
for the dinner.
Oh, for this,
for
okay.
Christmas in July.
I got you. So there's still tickets
If anyone
available.
wants to go to the dinner, there are tickets
There's still
available.
tickets available. Got you.
That's at 6 p.m.
Jeff, just real quick, won't take 2 seconds, but when you started here, you started at code enforcement, wasn't it? Or
Building official.
Building official, that's what, building official. I don't know how many of us knew, I didn't know that up until recently, so.
Started as a building official, when Jennings got into office, volunteered for a project with the sewer department, worked that through that entire summer. Francis Johns switched me around from upstairs to downstairs that following winter, I believe it was, and stayed on the taxes for that length of time until 2 years ago.
Long time. Well, before we close out, I just wanted to tell the council, AOC, we got that memorandum, so I'm gonna sign that. You all had
Oh,
given me
yay.
okay, so all that moved forward. Ben, we have that agreement, so, I'll send that off and get that to them, and, so that driver's license in the court will be staying here up until however long that term is. Meeting, we were gonna have a called meeting scheduled for Redmar, on July 22nd, but that has been moved to August 12th. And that is gonna be our regularly scheduled council meeting. I will notify the media if it's either gonna be placed here or if it's gonna be back in Colvin. That's gonna be our public hearing for the TIF and the project presentation, Mr. Sharon. I know Thomas Boggs had asked on our Facebook, I just seen the comments, but Redmar is still moving forward, and so that TIF district that we've all been working on, that public hearing meeting is scheduled for August 12th, back at either here or Colvin. We'll just see how, depending on how large we think it's gonna be, what we can accommodate, so I'll let you know. So the meeting that we tentatively had scheduled for the 22nd has been canceled. Next, just to piggyback on Councilwoman Seabrooks and DeRoche, we are also having that parade that morning on September 14th. Applications will start going out for the parade. The city, Ratcliffe City Parade, that is scheduled for September 14th. It will start at 10, and so we will start getting those applications out for people that are wanting to do that, so. I can't think of anything else. So, this is not typical, but Mr. Clerk, I'll let you
Gavel
close
us
the damn
out.
meeting out.
Do I have a first to adjourn?
So moved.
That's a first, you better call for a damn second.
I'd like to have a second out of that.
Second.
You ain't got no second, I guess we're gonna.
Second.
Oh, you have Barbara
All right,
second.
so,
I first and second.
we are
Big
adjourned.
Q.
There we go. Had to get the picture, Jeff.
Sorry.